hot. I'm sweating. My air conditioner broke, so it's getting fixed within this week, I believe. My landlord is going to come through. But I am here to make a video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Comaspice and you are watching my YouTube. So today I wanted to talk about happiness. For this past month, I took a break from social media. I got off of Instagram, I got off of Twitter. I was still on YouTube for a little bit, but I eventually erased or deleted, I privated all my videos, and the only thing that I would really use YouTube for was to watch wellness videos or to get some advice, and for therapeutic reasons more so than anything. So this past month, I took this break from everything, like detoxing myself from negative energy and the rest of the world, and I isolated myself. Well, we all have to isolate ourselves right now during quarantine. I think this was the perfect time for me to bring myself back to understanding who I am and diving into who am I? Who is comaspice, and what do I stand for, and what do I want to achieve in this world, and what do I want to achieve for myself? So I was on the hunt, right? On the hunt every single day, trying to figure out my identity. And I realized that growing up, I didn't really have an identity because I was always living to please other people. I grew up in a household where my parents weren't really there for me, and they had a lot of issues of their own, and they were always dealing with something, and I felt like a burden to them, coming to them with my own issues. So I never really did come to them with my issues because I felt like I didn't want to put more stress onto them and make them feel like I had more problems that they needed to deal with on top of everything that they were already dealing with. So for a lot of my life, I kept a lot of these issues to myself and buried them down deep inside, and I was one of those children that had to cater to my parents' needs first and kind of be an adult as a child and not get a lot of emotional support back. And that could be very detrimental. I know there's probably a lot of people that went through that kind of similar childhood. And for my whole life, I didn't give myself the time or the energy to reflect on that and to go back and look at the things that happened in my childhood and see how that's impacted me for my whole entire life up until this point. So giving myself this whole month was very important for me and very life-changing, I would say, because right now I am the happiest that I've ever been, and I can say that with confidence. This is the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life, and I understand more of why I was unhappy. And every single day I am searching, or not so much searching, but figuring out what is important to me and what I want to live for. So very recently I became vegan, and I realized that I really care about animals and I want to do my best to help the environment in any way that I can and do my part in whatever way I think is best for me and how I can, as much as I can offer. I also realized that what else? I care a lot about mental health and well-being, and I want to build a community of people that can openly talk about these things, or I can openly talk about these things. People that are trying to improve their lives as well every single day. And I want to come onto this platform to encourage other people to do the same thing and really, have people take back their power and do what they think is best for them. So how I went about this was every single day I would watch a bunch of videos of people giving me advice on what to do with myself, or how to think, or how I can change my mindset. And I would look at myself in the mirror every single day and be like, this is what's wrong with me, this is what I need to fix, these are all my issues, and how can I work on this today, and blah blah blah. Which is like a good thing to do, but it's not a good thing to look at yourself all the time and be like, I have so many flaws, this is why I'm bad. And I don't know, you have to give yourself some credit for the good things that you put out into this world. And I realized that I wasn't doing enough of that for myself. So now I am backpedaling a little bit and doing my best. Sorry, there's a piece of hair. Doing my best to celebrate the small things that I do, work on my confidence at the same time, and the things that I want to achieve, realizing what is stopping me from achieving my goals, actively working on that. There's a lot of different factors to it, but you have to be the one that figures out what's the best route for you. So for me, I was watching all these YouTube videos and I was running into blocks, and then I was trying to fix them, but then I realized that maybe I didn't actually need any fixing. And then when I realized that maybe there is nothing actually wrong with me, then I could actually carry on with my day and do the things that I wanted to do. And going around in circles a little bit here. But what really matters is finding what's the best fit for you. So what I did was watch a bunch of videos, try out things that I felt like could work for me, but if they didn't work for me, then I would move on to the next thing, and then maybe have the other skill that I was practicing to help myself in the back in my toolbox, just in case I needed to go back to it. And then you'll have certain realizations like, oh shoot, this might not have worked for me back then, but now it works for you now, and something in your mind just clicks and you're like, oh, I understand this now. I mean, there's a difference between, someone just giving you advice, giving you information, and you understanding what they were saying and then trying to apply it to your life. But there's there's a moment in time when things just click into your mind and you just realize you go from understanding to actually knowing how something is impacting you and how you can actually change something about yourself. So a lot of this stuff takes a lot of time, and there's no way of knowing when you're actually going to understand everything and get it and just change your life. It can't happen in a snap of the fingers. But it takes a lot of time and energy and patience for yourself. And I think that's what it really comes down to. Giving yourself the time to recognize. Sorry, sometimes there's motorcycles that drive by here and they're so loud, and my walls are really thin so you could just hear everything. That gets annoying sometimes when I try to sleep and I can't because it's just so loud and people are just whatever. But yeah. Woo. So what I learned was that the only moment that we have right now is now. This moment right here when you're watching me talk about this. And this is the only thing that you can focus on right now that can make you either happy or sad or have some type of mood or emotion. And what happened in the past, you can't change and you can't control it. And what happens in the future, you might have anxiety over it because you just don't know, it's uncertain, but you can't control that either. So the only moment that you have right now that you can control is now, and your emotions and how you react or your thought process and everything like that. So it's really important for you to come back to your center. And so that what I would do is when I start getting anxiety or when I start thinking about or ruminating about the past or just thinking like, oh, what am I going to do for the future? I'm just like, Karen, that's my real name. Take a deep breath. I'll breathe and I'll come back to where I'm at right now. Clear my mind a little bit. Breathe. And go from there. And try to figure out what is the best course of action for me. If it's nothing, if I can't do anything about it, then, I'll try to stop worrying about it. But if I can do something about it, I'll try to take the best action. But you can't take the best action when you're like freaking out or panicking, or something that you can do is just talk yourself through your emotions and think about why you are feeling a certain way. A lot of the time when these anxieties come up, I always trace it back to the root problem of me feeling like I'm not enough as a person. And I always tell myself, like, that is not true. Like, there's so many reasons that you can say that you're not enough, but there's a lot of reasons that you can also say back to yourself that tell yourself that you are enough. And you have to keep reminding yourself that there are good things that you do. And the ego sometimes doesn't want you to believe that. The ego can be, a good thing. I mean, can be super flattering and think of yourself as a grandiose person. But your ego can also tell yourself that that you're nothing, that you're not enough. So meditating helps me ask these questions to myself as to why I'm thinking something, and then try to get down to the root of it and notice that this is not my original thought, but rather a thought of somebody else that I internalized, and then it became a voice inside of me that was constantly telling me like all these negative things and criticisms that don't actually make sense, or they're not actually true. So you have this voice in your head that is limiting you and telling you all these beliefs that aren't true and that are stopping you from pursuing your dream. And you gotta recognize that and talk back to that voice. And what I say to myself when I'm talking to myself in the mirror and I'm unhappy and I tell myself I'm not enough and all these bad things about myself, I tell myself like, yo, today I choose to love myself, and whatever part of my mind that I don't love, that doesn't love me, can go ahead and pack its bags and go, because I won't tolerate that anymore. I won't tolerate having that voice in me telling me and bullying me every single day anymore. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to people around me. It's not doing any good for this world. So bye, you're gone. And yeah, that's what I do. I know this video was all over the place, but I'm just talking from my mind. And as I go on and do more of these, I'm sure I will get better, hopefully. But as for right now, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped somebody out there. If it's even helped one person, I'm very happy. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you want to see more videos that I post and have them pop up on your feed. That would be great for me and would help me too get more views and stuff. And yeah, I'd be super happy if you did that. So thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for more videos. And yeah, don't forget to love yourself, take care of yourself, and we can all be on this journey together for happiness and achieving that into our lives, and all be better people every single day. Be our best version of ourselves every day. I believe that. I believe that we could do it, and you know, if we all do that, I believe that this world would be a much better place. So, thank you again. Love you. Peace out. Bye.